The Louisiana Seafood Board is proud to sponsor Miss Lucy's cooking series. Louisiana cooking is known around the world. And Louisiana's main ingredient? Seafood. Brought to you by the crawfish farmers and harvesters of Louisiana-grown crawfish.
Bonjour, welcome to Miss Lucy's Cajun Classroom. I'm your host and your teacher, Miss Lucy. Today, I have picked up some beautiful Louisiana blue crabs at Tony's in Baton Rouge. And then I'll be fixing a very special dish, because as you know, crabs are my favorite seafood. Allons à l'école, chef. Bonjour, welcome to Miss Lucy's Cajun Classroom. I'm your host and teacher, Miss Lucy. And of course, I came home with these gorgeous crabs from Tony's. But I want to fix my salad first before I teach you how to make a very special dish with crabs. Okay, this is a story that I love to tell everybody. I have a good friend, Blaise, and he taught me how to do this. And these are the ingredients. I've already put these in here because I marinated them overnight. What I have here are the onions. Of course, I'm going to show you how I chop them up. You just throw some more in there because I'll be adding some more to my bowl. You just chop them up very, very fine. This is how really basically you need to chop up your onions. Just this. And very, very fine, because this needs to be well, to where it's not chunks, just little bitty pieces, like this. Then you throw that in there. Of course, next you put your bell pepper in it. I've already chopped some up. I'll add some more to this. And the bell peppers, the best way to chop up a bell pepper real fine is first to julienne them. This is how, okay, then done real fine, just like the onions, just like this. Okay, very good. Then, of course, we have celery. Just add a little bit more celery, because like I said, I'll be adding more ingredients. And the celery you chop up in the same manner that you did the onions and bell pepper, very fine. This is, just go ahead and slice them. This really adds to the flavor of the salad. Real fine. You almost want them paper thin. Okay, we've added those to the salad. Now, this is the corn. This is corn, shoe peg corn. It's little bitty kernels, and it's so good and tasty. When you add this, yeah, I'll just throw it all in. It'll make a bigger salad that way. It'll really be good. You can serve this as a salad or as your vegetable for the day. And that's what I'm planning on doing today, using it for both reasons, okay? And you add your peas to this. These are the petits pois. Little peas is what we call them. The petit pois means little pea in French. Petit is little, and pois means pea. Ooh, messy cooks are good cooks. All right, and these are the onion tops. Now, a lot of people call them green onions, shallots, or whatever. It doesn't matter what you call them, just use them. It adds to the flavor. Okay. And you see, I've got a lot of vegetables in here. We'll just throw them together, and I'm going to add a dab of oil. It makes the vinegar stick to the ingredient when you add oil. Good, just a dab. And then, being that I'll need more vinegar, I'll have to add the vinegar. Just natural. Yeah, you just want to cover your vegetables with the vinegar. Okay. Now, to this, I'm going to get my salt and hot sauce. This is my salt salad that my grandmother used. add just a dab of salt to this. This is how I can still remember her doing this with her fingers at home. Precious memories. Okay, and then the hot sauce. Just, you don't have to pepper to this. Of course, if you want to, you can. That's what Cajun cooking's all about. You can just throw in there what you want. That's what I do. Usually it turns out pretty good, too. I like Mama cooking. Now, voila, we got our salad and our vegetable all done. And now, we will do that very special crab dish. And now for that very special recipe for my favorite seafood. Of course, you know, crab meat. Look at this gorgeous lump crab meat. It's got to be lump crab meat. So it's just, can't resist this. Oh yeah, we'll be lucky if we'll have any crab meat left for the dish. Look at this. Oh my gosh. Oh, this is so tempting. Well, we just add it to the bowl. Let me hurry up because I'll probably end up eating half of it. So, and then to this, I'm going to add some artichoke hearts, which you have to chop very finely. And get them in the jar. And you add it. See, I'm not measuring, but you have the ingredients and you kind of judge it by eye. That's what I like to do. I usually do it by eye and smell. And of course, with crab meat, I like to taste it. I told you I may not have any crab meat left. Very good. Now, next to this, I'm going to add some onion tops. Good. Delicious. And of course, I'll take my lemon juice. Sprinkle it on top. Just smell that wonderful crab. Very good. Next to this, I'm going to season it. Okay, get my salt and pepper and pepper sauce. Okay, and do a little. Seafood needs more seasoning than regular food because it's just, it's better, it tastes better if you add more than usually what you would normally want. Seasoned meat or poultry, you know, any chicken or beef. So this is, can't wait to sample this. Yeah, so crabs are very, very good, and I've always enjoyed catching them also. As a girl, we'd go by the canals by the house, and we get our little lines with our bait and all, and we'd just sit there and catch tons of crabs and then go home and Mama would boil them, and then we'd peel them or fry them, you know, clean them and fry them. This is mayonnaise, of course. Melissa again would say, Mama, it's mayonnaise, but I prefer mayonnaise because that is how my mama said it, and my grandmother did too. Okay, you be careful how you add it. Let me add just a little bit more. It seemed like it would not be the ingredient to add to a crab meat casserole, but it does something to the flavor. It just enhances the flavor of the crab meat. Alrighty, to this now, we're going to add some cheese. Now, this is the Parmesan cheese, and of course, freshly grated cheese is always better. So I like to use the freshly grated cheese, which I've already grated some, but this is how you usually grate your cheese. You have to be careful because you can cut yourself. You hold it real carefully, and it just works so much better. Of course, like I said, I've already, for time element, I've grated some already. Put some in here. Okay. Just according to your taste. I like a lot of cheese with my crab meat, but if you prefer not, matter of fact, you don't even have to add it. Of course, I like to add it to it. Good. Now, what I'm going to do with this is I'm going to show you how I'm going to put it in a casserole because this is to be baked. And before, you always spray with a nonstick coating because it makes the dishwashing so much easier. Ooh, you don't have to scrub all those dishes. So now, I'm going to take my bowl of crab meat and I'll just put it in the dish, in the Pyrex dish. You can, of course, bake it in practically any dish you want to, any corning, or it's just really up to you. But I like to do it this way so you can see through it and see the gorgeous crab meat after it's cooked. You set this on the table, you don't have to dish it out, you just serve from the bowl. Yes, very, very good. Now, I'll straighten this out. Now, if you want to, you can add some, of course, breadcrumbs to it, but I don't like to because it takes away from the crab taste. Now, I'm gonna put this in the oven and bake it 350 for about 20 minutes until the cheese is really melted. But of course, time element, I've already baked this. So what I'm going to do, I'll take it out of the oven and show you what that gorgeous dish would look like. It's just beautiful and it is so tasty. Yeah. So now I'm going to bake this one, because I know I could eat this one all by myself, so I have to have enough for the camera people. All right. And now let's go back to Tony's and see where Mr. Crab came from.
In case you don't already know, crab is my favorite seafood. I'll need plenty to make my Crabmeat Special. Tony's Seafood in Baton Rouge has some real beauties. Let's go talk to Steve LeBlanc.
Well, now, Steve, what kind of crabs are these?
This is a Louisiana blue crab,
Blue
Miss Lucy.
crabs, yes.
And you can see right now, we're starting to come in season pretty soon. That one's missing a claw, but we got some nice looking stuff right here.
Beautiful. Well, I tell you what, Steve, they sure look good to me.
Let's go cook them up.
I'll bet.
I'm ready.
How long? Well, Steve, actually, this is the beautiful Louisiana crabs, right?
Yes, they are. They are
Right.
our domestic crabs. They come off our Louisiana coast. And right now, if you can see, they just now starting to run fairly decent. These are the male crabs. Right now, we're not carrying any female crabs. You can tell the difference by the back and the stem. A female will have a wider base and a very short stem. And this is a male crab with a longer base and a long stem.
But they both taste the same.
They do taste the same. Most people prefer to eat the males. I'm not exactly sure why, but
No eggs.
exactly.
No
Thank you.
eggs.
It's a female will know that.
Right.
Miss Lucy, you can see right here, this crab is a good bit tan or getting a slight brownish color. Now this is an indication that this crab is going to be full and full of a lot of meat from them working on the bottom and eating on the bottom of the ground, if you feel that. Now this would be a crab that is not so very full, and when you have the crabs for picking and eating that aren't full, a lot of people will take these particular crabs, clean them up, and put them in their gumbos.
Right, right. Well, I tell you, I love crabs boiled, fried, any kind of way you can see. That's my favorite seafood.
Well, it's one of our favorite delicacies in Louisiana, and we're really proud to serve them.
Oh, it's wonderful. I just love them. And let's see how these are boiled, right?
Yes, ma'am. This is a boiled crab.
Well, let's see if we can.
And the claws are some of the prime meat.
Well, now you know I use crab meat, the claws, to put in the gumbos.
Yes, ma'am.
It's wonderful, it's delicious, yet it's not as expensive. And then for my etouffees and all, I just use the lump, but not the jumbo lump.
The back fin. That would be called the back fin.
Right. And then, of course, for the au gratins, we use the big lump.
Yes, ma'am. And that lump crab meat, it's a little pricey, but it's makes a special great topping on baked fish. You can use it in a light sauce.
Wow. Look at the meat in there.
There you go, Miss
Yes.
Lucy. Why don't you try that?
Ooh,
pull
try that.
Pull that right out of there and eat that. Should come right out.
Delicious. C'est bon, chef.
There you go.
As I told Steve, I like to eat crabs no matter how you cook it. I can eat them boiled like these beautiful babies. I love them hot out of the boiler and ready to crack. I like them cold and eat them in a salad like my crab stuffed tomatoes. Or I use that delicious crab meat in hot dishes like the Crabmeat Special we made today. Crab meat comes in several different forms. Jumbo lump, which has the largest pieces, back fin, which is white pieces of crab that are smaller than jumbo, and claw meat, that is dark and rich in flavor. Sometimes for a change of pace, I'll eat soft-shell crabs like the one we saw at the Crescent City Farmers Market in New Orleans. A soft-shell crab is a recently molted crab that hasn't yet formed a new hard shell. It's a seafood delicacy, and almost 95% of the crab can be eaten. I like to take out the gills and lungs before preparing mine, of course. The blue crab soft-shell crab season usually lasts from May to July. Hard-shell crabs are available year-round, but I think folks like them most in the summer when they're usually the fattiest and the sweetest. Did you know that crabs are extremely high in vitamin B12, with just 3 ounces of crab meat having a full daily allowance? Well, I never met a crab I didn't like, to eat that is. Thank goodness I have plenty of recipes that use this seafood delicacy. When it comes to seafood, you can never be too careful. Buy crabs or other seafood only from reputable sources. Buy only fresh seafood that's refrigerated or properly iced. Don't buy cooked seafoods such as crabs if they're displayed in the same case as raw fish. Cross-contamination can occur. Don't buy frozen crabs if the packages are open, torn, or crushed on the edges. Put seafood on ice in the refrigerator or in the freezer immediately after buying them. Here are some good tips for storing perishables like crabs. If seafood will be used within 2 days after purchase, store it in the coldest place of the refrigerator, usually under the freezer compartment or in a special meat keeper. Allow air to circulate freely around the package. Otherwise, wrap the food tightly in moisture-proof freezer paper or foil to protect it from air leaks and store it in the freezer. Discard shellfish, such as crabs, if they die during storage or if their shells crack or break. Here are some common sense tips to keep in mind when you're preparing seafood like crab. Wash hands thoroughly with hot soapy water before and after handling any raw food. Thaw frozen seafood in the refrigerator. Gradual defrosting overnight is best because it helps maintain quality. If you need to thaw food quickly, seal it in a plastic bag and immerse in cold water for about an hour, or microwave on the defrost setting if the food is to be cooked immediately. Marinate food in the refrigerator, not on the counter. Discard the marinade after use because it contains raw juices, which may harbor bacteria. Never allow cooked food to come in contact with raw products.
And now for that very special Wallbanger cake that I promised you. Of course, this is my cake mix, which is the orange cake mix, is already in the mixer. And I'm gonna beat up my egg yolks very well. And this is so quick and easy, and you're gonna enjoy this because there's some very good ingredients here. Okay, I think this will work. Good. Okay. Mix it up. Next to that, I'm going to add the oil. That orange cake mix just smells good already. Then, of course, I've got some instant vanilla pudding mix. Make sure it's the instant. It adds to the consistency of the cake mix. Woo! Don't eat the powder today. Got my egg and my flour and everything all together. Next, I'm going to add my orange juice. Very good. Okay. Here's this one. You put it on medium. Mix it up. Oh, I wish you could smell this. It's just great. Okay. Let it just a little bit longer. Okay. Now. Okay. Now, I'll let this fall. Okay, now, I don't want to make too big a mess because I'm not that good at cook, you know. So I'm going to get this out of the way. All right, if Lucy'd be here, she could be licking this, but she's not here, so I guess I'll have to just wait. This is the bundt pan I'm going to bake it in. What I've done, I've put oil in it and floured it. That's really important in a bundt pan. Get enough oil and flour to coat it real well because it may stick. So, I'm going to add this, put it in here. This is real good. It'll be so good. Okay, make sure it's well all around. Yeah. It's kind of awkward to do in a bundt pan because you don't want to get it too much all over the middle because it may not cook right. Okay, just add it to here. Turn it around this way. Okay, good. Yeah. And what I'm going to do, I'm going to throw this in the oven. And we'll bake this 350 degrees. Now, really the lower temperature that you bake a cake, the more moist it's going to be. You don't want to bake your cakes too high. So, okay. So, oh, I want it to lick my finger. Now, and I like to kind of beat it on here, kind of get some of the air bubbles out of it. Okay, now, all righty. Now this is the cake that we're going to be serving with our great special crab. Okay, now, very good. Now I'm going to show you how I'm going to glaze this cake. First, before I bake it, you have to put it in the oven and bake it, and then on top of the warm cake, you add sugar. And that's where those special ingredients are going to come in handy. Orange juice, Galliano liqueur, and vodka. Yeah. After this, I'll have to add some corn syrup. Okay. I'll make it so thick. And as you pour this on top of your cake when it's warm, just drizzle real pretty and it'll be so good. Smells real good too. Okay, I'm going to put my cake in the oven and I'm going to bake it, and then we'll enjoy it when it's finished. I'll just go ahead and glaze it. All right, and now to enjoy that wonderful Harvey Wallbanger cake. Can't wait to dig into it. But first, let me share a letter with you. All right. Well, Colleen Dodon writes to me and says, Miss Lucy, we all love your accent and the way that you pronounce Monez. That is what makes you who you are. You're preserving the heritage and the language is what makes you so special to us. Thank you. Thank you, Colleen, for that nice letter. And thank you for joining me today and having some wonderful lessons with Miss Lucy's Cajun classroom. See you again soon, Sha. The good stuff. C'est bon, Sha.
The Louisiana Seafood Board is proud to sponsor Miss Lucy's cooking series. Louisiana cooking is known around the world, and Louisiana's main ingredient? Seafood. Brought to you by the crawfish farmers and harvesters of Louisiana-grown crawfish. To order Miss Lucy's cookbooks, please send check or money order to the address on your screen or call toll-free 1-800-257-5829.